Hey guys, Friction Pin. We've got another how-to video today, and this one is entitled How to Fix Low Sound Volume in Your Recorded Videos. And when I first started doing YouTube videos back in December, just barely over a month ago, the biggest problem that I had was I didn't really want to invest in a video camera or this fancy camera or something like that for this hobby that I'm doing by making videos about Lego and things like that. It's really not a job or anything that I do professionally, so I just thought, hey, let's try that out, kind of see how it goes, and didn't really have funds to invest in a studio setup, if you will. So what I did was I started using a webcam, and I used my iPhone, and I tried various things, but mainly when I used my iPhone and my iPad, all of them had the same problem. I couldn't hear myself when I played them back. The thing could be right in front of me, which it is in most of my videos. The camera sits in front of me, and I sit right behind it. And I talk, and I'm a foot away from the thing, but it was just so low that when you played it back, I had to crank my speakers up to about half volume, half max, and you could just hear me mumbling. So it was really frustrating to try and figure out how everybody else did this and why I was struggling so much with it. So what I did was I figured, well, I do DVD movies, like our home movies and stuff. I make DVDs out of those so we can save them. So I use Movie Maker to do that, and I thought, well, if there was just a way to make the sound better. And I've used this program called Levelator in the past, and what it does is it takes a sound file and it amplifies it. Okay, so you take this song that you have that's low quality, and you drag it over to it, and it runs some magic in the background, and when it's done, the song is much, much louder than it was before. So it increases that volume, but it does it smartly. It doesn't just flat out, you don't hear a bunch of air and, background noise and things like that. It's some, I don't know exactly what it does, but it's some kind of smart filtering amplification program. So I've used it for years. They don't actually develop it anymore, but it's still on the internet. It's still free, and I'll put a download link to it in the description. Movie Maker's also free. I'll put a link to that in the description. So I have the program I need, and I have a way to do what I want. I can't figure out how to get the sound out of my recorded videos. So I searched for weeks and finally found a solution. There's this program called Video to Audio Converter, and it's free, and I'll put a link to it in the description. So now I've got these three pieces here that can solve my problem. So let me show you. So I've got my original video here that I recorded on my iPhone with the low quality volume that if we were to play it and you heard the sound, it would kind of be talking like this, be really low, and you couldn't hear what I was saying. So I will bring up the free video to audio converter, and I will add a task, which basically means I want to do something with this file, which is my video over here. We'll open it up, and it gives me some information. It says, okay, here's your options for what I'm going to do with this file. It tells me all this stuff I don't care about. Shows me a picture. Hey, that's the right file. That's the one I want. There's really only one thing we're going to do here. This file is going to be outputted in one of these formats, and we want a WAV file, which is basically just a sound file. They've been around for years. I've been using computers since the 80s, and WAV files have been around before that. So that's it. You just hit WAV file, and it's going to put it right in the folder where the original is. We're going to hit OK. So you notice down here it made a file. Don't get too excited because it didn't actually do anything. It just made the file. This file is empty. It doesn't do anything if you play it. It has 0 bytes. You actually, whoops, let me make the screen bigger. So you actually have to hit the start button. Sorry about that. maximize the program. So if I hit start, it starts its progress. It doesn't take very long. And it goes through and it basically just gets the sound information out of that video and saves it into this WAV file. So we'll wait for that to, okay, it's finished. So that didn't take long at all. So now we see we've got this file here, which is our sound only. It says it's 9 minutes and 22 seconds. Over here and check our video. Yep, our video is 9 minutes and 22 seconds. So we've got all of the sound. It's the same length. If you see that that's a different length than your video, then there's been a mistake. You just need to process it again. All right, step 2. Let's open up Levelator, and all you have to do is drag this WAV file that we just created and drop it on the Levelator. And it goes through and it does its little magic, cool equalizer things. I always thought that was neat when I was a kid with the stereos that did that. Yeah, it was neat. Alright, so this only takes a minute as well. And goes through and works its magic and increases the volume. And poof, it's done. Alright, so we'll close that. Now these two files are very similar. The way you can tell, the one that Levelator processed, the one with the higher volume, is the one that has the word output in it. This is the original, and this is the one that ran through Levelator. It has the word output in there. The rest of the file name's the same. Okay? So our last step, all we have to do now is take this new, higher quality, better, I guess I should say louder. It's not really higher quality. Our louder volume voice that we have sound we had in our video here, and we need to put them back together. So we're going to go over and drag this into Movie Maker. So I opened the Movie Maker and I dragged my video in, and then I will go get my the file, one that says output, and I want my sound. First, before I do that, if you look at the video here, you can see this gray. That's the sound in your video. That's where you're talking. It kind of shows you it's louder, soft, louder, soft. So when we drag this new file over, you'll notice that gray up and down line right where my mouse cursor is. Wherever you let go is where it's going to start the sound. Alright, so you don't want to drop this anywhere other than the far left upper corner, right on that black line. So right over where they meet, and then let go. The green is the sound, the new sound, the higher volume. And you can see how it matches up with the gray. If you get that off a little bit, then your sound's going to cut off at the end. Okay, see, that's why when you drag that on there, you want to make sure it's all the way over to the left. Alright, and that's all there is to it. All we have to do now is save our movie, and in this case we're going to pick YouTube format. And that's a preset setting that's in the program when you download it. Okay, and we're going to give it a name. We're going to call it Lego Review 50003 Batman Board Game. Alright, and we're going to hit save, and this is going to save it in an MP4, which is no big deal. Save. Because YouTube accepts MP4s and MOVs. And that's all there is to it. You just have to wait, 5-10 minutes, depending on the size of your video, for that to export, and you're good to go. The other thing you can do, whenever this is done, I'm going to go ahead and cancel it so we don't have to wait to see this happen. I've actually done this off camera, and I have our file right over here. I'm going to drag it over. I made this earlier before I started recording. You can see our original is 9 minutes 22 seconds, high definition at 1920 by 1080, and 962 megabytes. The new file is 343 megabytes, the same time and the same width and height, so it's still HD. So that's how you do it. All done. Good video that has great sound. So I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.